For the sake of your relationship, stop telling your partner what you need from them. It's only making matters worse. That is the point of today's video. I want to give you guys the communication tools that are going to help you actually get what you want. It doesn't start with the word needs though. So I'm going to explain that. But before I do, please smash that subscribe button and like this video, because you know what? All of your support means so much to me. It's helping me fulfill my mission of saving 1 million marriages. And it's what I love to do. I've done it over on Instagram, and now I'm over here on YouTube, and it brings me so much joy to give you guys the skills, the tools, the exercises, the strategies that I've learned over the last 10 years as a marriage and family therapist, because I know it works. It's going to help you save your relationship. It's not the divisive conversation, processing all the hurts and the pains and the disappointments. That's not what I do. And the reason why I don't do that is because it simply connects us closer and closer to our pain. It connects us to the things that we don't want. And my approach is radically different from other therapists and couples therapists and relationship experts out there. I'm not remotely interested in the hurts, the disappointments, and the pain. And the reason for that is because, follow the breadcrumbs for a second with me. When we process emotional pain, what happens? We get overwhelmed with grief, with sadness, maybe it's anger, frustration. It's all those negative emotions. What happens to our minds when we have a flood of those negative emotions? We lose the ability to problem solve. And see, couples, if they want a better relationship and they're locked in conflict, they've maybe not been intimate for a long time, they're really deeply struggling with trust, communication, whatever it is, they don't have a year to wait until they see improvements in the relationship. They need it now. They need fast food takeout. Like, we're talking under a minute from ordering to getting your food speed of service. They don't have the year to sit on a couch and hope that things get better. And indeed, most of my clients that come to me when I'm working with them, whether that's in my group programs, whether that's in my one-on-one programs, or maybe it's just a single session, by the time they come to me, 9 times out of 10, one of the partners is halfway out the door. And so if you're halfway out the door, do you really want to stay connected and get even more entrenched in the pain and the hurts and the disappointments? You don't. The reality is that you want change today. You want it quickly. You need to see movement. This is why I talk to my clients about movement. It's about doing something new. It's about breaking these negative patterns that keep us stuck in that painful, disappointing place. So how does all this relate to needs? Well, first thing I want to say is that if you guys are like me, has there ever been a time when someone started talking to you about their needs, or even use the word like, I need you to pick up some groceries, or I need you to text me? If you're like me, the minute I hear that word need, the hair stands up on the back of my neck, and I'm like, I'm on guard now. I'm simply on guard just by hearing that 4-letter word. And indeed, most of the time when someone says they need something from me, it makes me want to do the exact opposite. Now, if you can resonate with, if that resonates with you, then you're in the right place, because this is what I want to help you through. And hopefully you'll share this video with your partner so they can help them as well. Now, this really works when you guys do this together. So everything that I teach here, if you're watching this by yourself, share it with your partner, get them to subscribe as well and to like the video, and you guys can follow along in this journey, because it works so much better when you guys are speaking the same language. If one of you is speaking in terms of needs and the other is feeling, I don't like that word, it's not going to end well. In fact, it's probably going to lead to more conflict, or it's going to lead to disappointment and resentment, because I'm disappointed that you haven't been there and helped me fulfill, or you haven't been there to fulfill my need. And now I'm becoming resentful for the fact that, for the last year, 5 years, 10 years, you've not been making any effort to meet my needs. And again, I feel so icky personally when someone says that they need someone to fulfill their needs. And I think there's a good reason why I think people use the word needs. And I'm going to challenge you guys all to go down this journey with me and think a little bit differently. See, when we're children, and I've got a 12-year and 8-year-old, when we're children, we don't speak in terms of needs. We don't have emotional needs. Indeed, actually, children just have wants. Like my daughters would scream at the top of their lungs and from the other end of the house, and they would just yell water. And as parents, we had to jump up and go and get them water. Now, they have me wrapped around their fingers, so that's a whole separate video. I don't do that as much anymore. I'm kind of pushing back a little bit. But the reality is that children don't speak in terms of needs. They definitely don't speak in terms of emotional needs. They just speak in terms of wants. But then how does someone go from being a child speaking in terms of wants and desires to being an adult speaking in terms of needs? And I think the reason is that over time, two things happen. One, they've been told no too many times, and they've conditioned themselves to believe that the word want isn't strong enough, and they need to somehow amplify that message, that it's urgent. They need to create urgency around it. Or another reason is that they've been denied their wants so much that they've come to believe that they don't actually deserve what they want. Well, I'm here to tell you that wants are divine in the context of a relationship. I want to be held. I want to be your number one. I want to be, the top of your mind. I want that kiss in the morning. I want to be hugged when I'm feeling down, when I'm feeling upset. These are all wants. These aren't needs. I don't need them. I simply want them. And I choose to believe that wants are pure. If you go to your partner and say, I really want a hug from you right now, or I really want your support. Anyone saying that to me, my wife coming to me, in tears saying, I've had a really hard day. I really would like a hug, or I really want a hug. I want to give her that. She comes to me and says, I need a hug right now. I'm like, am I supposed to drop everything that I'm doing right now and give you a hug? Although I would. But what if it's something like, I need you to go to the grocery store, or I need you to pick the girls up from school, whatever it is. I'm thinking, holy crap! Like now my whole day is my schedule. My planning is been thrown a curveball, and now I've got to recalibrate. And it's just going to create friction. The word need creates friction in relationships. The word want creates connection. It implies that I want you because it's rooted in that. Because a want, to want to anything from your partner must mean that the want, the place that originates is the want that you have for them. You want them. And then you want them to do this, or to say this, or to make love to you, or to prioritize you. But it all is rooted in this, you want them. And that's why I think it's divine. And see, if you commit to your partner, whether that's in marriage or in a long-term relationship, I truly believe that the covenant of marriage is, I want to wake up every single day helping you get what you want. You don't need to frame it in the way of making it a need. You don't need to take a want and convert it to a need in order for me to want to give you that. Because I married you, I want to give you that. Now, I may not be in a position to, I may not be able to give it to you right this instant, but then I'm going to say to you, well, how can I make that up to you? Or could we do a rain check? I really want to give what you want. It's just I can't do it now. So if you could let me know, maybe I can do it tonight, or maybe I can do it tomorrow. But just let me know how I could make it up to you. That would be really helpful. That term, how can I make it up to you? I want you guys to remember that, because that's the oil that lubricates the engine. So you could build a Ferrari, this beautiful machine, and if you don't put oil in, it's not going to start. And the reason why I know that is that I figured that out the hard way. We live in Central America, where the power outages are massive and intense, and they're weekly. And I bought a brand new generator, and I filled it with gas, and I thought, I'm going to fire this up. This is going to be great. We're going to have internet. We're going to have Starlink. Well, indeed, it didn't start because I didn't put oil in it, right? So this beautiful brand new machine wouldn't work. Your relationship is beautiful. The whole idea of two people falling in love and wanting to build a life together is a beautiful thing. It just needs oil. And I'm telling you, if you oil it with the word need, it's like putting diesel in a gasoline car. It's not going to work. and it never works. And all these relationship experts and therapists out there telling you to express your needs better, they're giving you bad advice. And so that's what I want to teach you guys here. Use the word want. Don't speak in terms of need. Banish it from your lexicon. Just go to your partner and say, hey, would you join me on this journey where we decide to take needs and kick them out of our house? And we're going to build a home filled with wants. We're going to normalize everyone asking for what their deepest wants and desires are. You know, if you have a daughter like I do, it's my 12-year-old, she's coming to me saying, Daddy, I want a horse. She doesn't say, I need you to buy me a horse. She just says, I want to buy a horse. Now, I may not want to buy her a horse instantly, but I definitely don't want to slam the door on that, because she could become the next Olympian level equestrian rider. So my only response to her is, how can I help you get what you want? How can I help you get that horse that you want? I want to make love to you, your wife or your husband could ask you or say to you. If your response is, how can I make that happen? Isn't that a home that you want to grow up in and you want to grow old in? And then you want your children, don't you want your children and you guys could sit around the dining room table and all decide from this moment forward as a family, we're going to ask each other for what we want, whether that's that horse, whether it's a pizza movie night, whether it's a new iPhone. I'm not advocating going out and buying the new iPhone, but you could talk about how you could help them earn the money to get the iPhone, right? But if it's all rooted in this place of communication where you all can simply ask for what each other wants, you can with confidence know that you can go to your loved ones, your wife, your children, and just simply ask for what you want, knowing that request is going to be met with a sincere, how can I help you get what you want? So if I was, and I am in a family, and I do have a wife and 2 kids, I know that I would want to live and grow old in that household, where that becomes the new mission, the new modus operandi, the new mantra of our family, is we should all ask for what we deeply want and deeply desire, knowing that everyone else in this home is there to help fulfill that of each other. And we don't need to convert it into needs, because I think ultimately what happens when we convert it into needs, the unspoken follow-up sentences that follow that is, I've not been getting my needs met, I'm disappointed my needs aren't being met, I'm building a lot of resentment towards you because my needs aren't being met. And this is the danger of the word needs. So I hope I've given you guys a good enough reason, I hope I've convinced you to banish that word from your relationship. I've been married now for 15 years, it'll be 16 years in June. Happier today with my wife than I was on the day that we got married. And we never talk about our needs. We just simply got really good at asking each other for what each other wants. So I hope that helps you guys. If it did, smash that subscribe button. You're helping me save 1 million marriages, and I'd love knowing that each and every one of you are getting something from these videos, that I'm giving you guys the tools, the skills, the strategies that you can use to build richer, more abundant, fulfilled relationships. Don't forget to hit that like button as well. And come and join me over on Instagram. Couples Therapy with Jonathan is my username. If you have any questions, I know it can be difficult to send them here on YouTube, but over on Instagram, I answer every single one of my questions with couples. So if you've got a burning issue, whether your partner's talking to you about divorce or separation, whether you've discovered something that broke trust, infidelity, a relationship, an emotional thing, you can find me over on Instagram. Send me a message. That's what I'm here for. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I shall see you again in the next video.